Hi, my name is Riley Dillon, and for my final project, I went with VFX. For my first spell, I did a water spell trap that encases the player in a sphere of water. To get the spell circle effect that I wanted, I used this tutorial to help me make mine. For the water spell effect, I followed the magic circle tutorial used a simple sprite burst for the texture of the spell circle, and I created the spell circle with my own design. It then is set to rotate using a sprite rotation rate particle update. For the water prison, the orb of water that rapidly expands, I use another simple sprite burst and used scale mesh size, and as well as reused a water texture from the second module and applied that to the mesh, so that's what it looks like when it expands. For the bubbling water, I used an hanging particle effect to give it just sort of a bubbly water look using a curl noise effect and a vortex force to slowly have it rotate, as well as use a scale mesh size to have it expand and then shrink out of existence. I did the same thing with the collapsing particle effect, which is where when the particles of water all of a sudden start gathering into the center. I did that with a very strong vortex force with an even stronger origin pull amount. I use an omnidirectional burst at the end when the water prison orb shrinks down to sort of add an extra little pop effect to it. The alternate version I did was a fire vortex trap. To figure out how to make the fire particles, I use this tutorial to learn how to use sub-UVs and get the fire particle animation that Unreal comes with. To make the fire spell, I use the same spell circle as I did for the water spell, but I changed the color of it to an orange. And I also added in another effect that does the same thing as the spell circle, but it uses a ring texture that expands over time to create a sort of pulse effect. For the flame fountains, I used fountain emitters with a fire particle sub-UV, and each one of them are staggered in the timeline to go off one after another. For the vortex effect, I used an omnidirectional burst to make it look like there's an initial burst of flame particles, and then a hanging particle effect that swirls them all together using a vortex effect and a curl noise force to make it a whirling vortex of flame trap. These are the tutorials that I use in the links in which you can follow to go and see them for yourself. This has been my VFX project, and thank you for watching.